13 came out in 2016, and everyone was like, the game was incredibly anticipated by fans since Final Fantasy 15 has technically been in development for, yes, the big number guys, 10 gosh diddly dang years. Originally announced as Final Fantasy Versus 13 back in 2006, a weird side game a part of the Final Fantasy 13 universe in some way, but not totally connected, and okay, I don't know, it's kind of confusing. Anyway, Final Fantasy Versus 13 eventually became the butt of a bad joke since people were convinced it was never going to see the light of day. But lo and behold, they were kind of right, because it took a really long freaking time for this game to come out, good god. Of course, around 2013, Final Fantasy Versus 13 was shot in a field somewhere, and Final Fantasy 15 was announced in its place. While the game did take story, character, and gameplay elements from its predecessor, Final Fantasy 15 was a whole new game that focused on the bonds of friendship while fighting for a common goal, featuring hot, sexy anime boys, as compared to whatever the hecky Final Fantasy Versus 13 was going for. The world may never know. But after tons of changes, tweaks, rewrites, demos, full-length feature films, a lifetime original specials, anime, musicals, and a mountain of trailers later, Final Fantasy 15 finally came out to a pretty warm welcome. While the game didn't deliver on all of its promises and fell short in the story department, people quickly fell in love with the main cast and world, and Square proved that they were willing to make a game that once again made the Final Fantasy name resonate with all of its fans, new and old. So they made the game adorable as hecky. And baby disclaimer guys, this game has a lot of extras and lots of updates coming, so don't expect every nook and cranny of this game to be covered because oh my god. So if I missed something, it's probably because Square Enix patched in like a whole other game's worth of content while I wasn't looking, because that's becoming a thing now. But anyway, if you're new to this game for some reason, here are a bunch of tips, tricks, and heads up for people who don't know about this game. So you play as Noctis, a handsome young emo who is Prince of the Kingdom of Lucius. Now, the game is set during a tense war between the technology-driven and we-like-being-jerks-for-no-reason Niflheim and the magic-based Lucius, the last kingdom to wield and hold the power of the almighty crystal, aka a really powerful rock. But things start heating up between Lucius and Niflheim, and the old dude showdown seems inevitable. So Noctis and his pals, Prompto, Ignis, and Gladio, go mega incognito to find and marry off Noctis to Luna Freya of Tenebrae, a childhood friend of Noctis and the world's oracle, aka the chick who talks to the gods because she's just so pure and cool and pretty. No, really guys, she's just so great. I mean it, just get a load of all that white. She means business. But soon after leaving his home, Lucius is attacked by Niflheim, and Noctis is left without a home to go back to, so he sets on a quest to regain the powers of the old kings in hopes of becoming strong enough to fight back Niflheim. Hope you're still with me guys, I know this is a lot. And it's all up to Noctis to travel the world with his bros and find a way to reunite with Luna Freya with enough strength to uncover the mysteries of their enemies and hopefully reclaim his throne as the rightful king. But not until after you have a massive bonding road trip across the country with your bro friends, spending the night under the stars, taking pictures, going out to dinner, talking about your feelings, and well, there's other stuff that happens obviously. Actually, things get a lot more complicated down the line and eventually get really dark and tragic and emotional and sad, and you know, there's a lot of lore and you know, but that's all spoiler stuff, guys. Just look at the pretty boys. Everything's gonna be okay, we promise. But seriously, it's best you don't know some of the finer details because it impacts the story later down the line. It's just best you don't know. But along the way, you'll meet hotties, bulletproof hair, degrade outdoors, fedora tipping, lots and lots and lots of driving, this cat, incredibly blatant product placements, black, oversized chickens, particle effects, inflation, getting lost for hours, really aggressive oversized chickens, step on me senpai, repeating dialogues, feels, insurance claims, the gun show if you know what I mean, seductive voices, wasted potential, nice doggies, more black,
nice legs, Daisy Dukes, makes a man go, that's it,
food porn, big doggies, wow that's pretty, gamers in real life, me in real life, animal cruelty, style, fashion, and really, really hype music. Goddamn. Now, I should probably answer the big question for some of you before y'all non-Final Fantasy fans implode from information overload. But no, you do not need to know anything from past Final Fantasy games to understand Final Fantasy 15. Just so you know, kiddos, while Final Fantasy games share the same name and have similar themes, concepts, gameplay, and hot sexy characters named Sid, unless the game shares the same number, you do not need to know diddly crap from other Final Fantasy games to play them. But and this is a big but, you do need to do some homework in order to understand Final Fantasy 15 to its fullest, so you better buckle up, sonny. Now, while the boy band adventure is pretty straightforward, Final Fantasy 15's main story and overall plot is kinda vague with the details, and it feels like it has missing important information when it comes to certain characters and the world, because it's actually not in the real game. Yeah, that's the kicker. See, if you want to understand what the heck is going on and why you're a hot dude who is covered in glitter and can transcend time and space while keeping his porcupine hair so perfect, then you need to watch two things. The first and most important being Kingsglaive, a full-length feature movie that introduces you to the 15 universe and explains the showdown between Lucius and Niflheim right before they blow Noctis' home to high heaven.
Sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows, everything that's wonderful is what I feel when we're together. Right.
And then there's also Brotherhood, a free online anime that acts as a backstory to how Noctis became friends with the Backstreet Boys, cute doggy fat kid pastry hunky daddy edition. It's short, sweet, and worth your time because of reasons. Seriously, check it out, it's really cute. The game also offers a baby lore guide before you start, and I recommend just reading through this thing so you have all your bases covered and there's no confusion.
And on the third day, God created the Remington bolt action rifle.
But although the lore is heavy with a vague story, the plot still delivers enough heart for you to get the feels when things do get real. And be honest, the quality time with your buds is where the real story is. Just chilling, exploring, gazing into each other's eyes, checking out their hot, sexy butts, just bro things. Okay, so like I said, boy band adventure in the Batmobile with the best friends forever group. Now, it should be obvious that Final Fantasy 15 is an open world action JRPG, and most, if not all of the content is in the open world from the get-go. And I mean the get-go. Like legit, you watch a few cutscenes, forwards in the machine breaks down your door and kicks you right in the gut. Big Boob McGee here says, hey yo, what it do? And then bam, you play in the game. But during your adventures, you'll be exploring the mass land of Eos, and lordy, there is a lot of stuff to do. From exploring dungeons, infiltrating forts, killing the local animal population, locating the tastiest cup of noodle for Gladdy Daddy, collecting weird crap for this bitch, or just good old-fashioned looking for the powers of God to smite the earth with. But the world is at your fingertips, and it's best to just take things slow at first and explore. Smell the flowers, find some treasures, accept a few hunts, cook some food, flirt with a chicken, just guys being dudes. But the fun never ends in EO since it's frickin' massive and the perfect summer getaway. But keep in mind, all this stuff is considered optional. It's an open world after all, so you can do everything you want and play it your way! Yeah! Woo! Basically do whatever the heck you want, I don't care. But while it is an open world, the quote-unquote main story is broken up into a series of missions and chapters, and they should be your top priority. Likely you can do everything at your own pace if you're slow, but basically the red missions are what you want to do first, since the main story is what unlocks more of the world and the neato stuff, and it's where the coolest things happen to be. Like this, and this, and this! But the story missions is where the game becomes a lot more structured and objective-based, either it be taking out a demigod, finding one of the king's arms, fighting a salad monster, or just being shoved down a corridor for 2 hours in the dark with no weapons. I'm not bitter, Square. It's a lot of new stuff all the time. Of course, if you're having trouble with 15, it's a kind, gentle lover, and it'll hold your hand through the whole thing. Most, if not all, quests and missions have levels and marks telling you where to go, what to do, what level you need to be at, the type of underwear you should be wearing so you don't get beaten to an anime pulp. So I don't want to hear any excuses that you didn't know there was a giant monster there, guys. You have one job, read the thing! Oh, for God's sake. Now, the game isn't all open all the time. Roughly near the end of the game, things get really linear, and, well, I won't spoil it, it's pretty straightforward, but the gameplay slaps you in the face with a bat, and there is a massive lore dump with a section that can just be described as, ugh. But again, just keep reading the directions like a good little boy, and nothing bad will happen, and you'll be a full-fledged, pimped-out prince in no time. Of course, you should know that the game will warn you before you enter long linear sections with these dialogue boxes saying, well, hey there, how's it going there, handsome? Things gonna get kinda weird. You sure wanna leave the great outdoors? Things gonna get funky, Noctis. You sure about that? Now, you should also know that even if you are in linear sections, yes, you can return to the open world whenever you like at rest points once you unlock Umbran's past memory ability. It's the dog with the pissed off eyebrows. Now, I should add that the game really wants you to beat it since the final mission recommended level is 45, so you can go back and dig into the real meat of things. And I'll be honest, the main story isn't even that long, so beef yourself up, go out there and save the world, you handsome man! Victory awaits! Okay, so let's get down to the nitty-gritty. So, gameplay-wise, Final Fantasy 15 is fast, flashy, and more importantly, pretty! Now, it should go without saying that if you have no idea how to do the combat, play the tutorial, you dingus. It does its job, it's fine. But yes, Final Fantasy XV's gameplay is all about that real-time action, and it's good old-fashioned hit the thing until it dies. Now, you have a series of weapons to pick and choose from that affect your overall attack pattern, and that stuff is kind of important, but we'll get to the details of that later. But the biggest crap in the combat is the warp. Since Noctis channels the power of the almighty rock crystal thingamaboob, he has the ability to warp in and out of battle and to hit enemies from far away. Now, the warp is pretty straightforward. Look at the thing, hold down the button, and then screw physics. You're there, kiddo. And yeah, the warp is a great way to hit dudes and chain attacks and all that jazz, but its real use is to nope out of fights to catch a breather. Noctis has like asthma or something, and it's important to warp out of fights when you can to regain magic, give your boys healing items, get some of your health back, or to just stare off into the distance admiring the sunset. And then throw yourself back in to bring on the Prince of Pain. Let's go! The point is, the warp is important, so use it, you big nerd. And speaking of other things that you should use is the dodge. Okay, let's get one thing out of the way first that will save you a lot of frustration down the line. Hold the buttons. The prompt is gonna make it seem like you have to tap it, but no. You have to hold it. And a matter of fact, you hold attack 2 and the warp. And well, just hold down the gosh dilly dang buttons, guys. God. Tapping it doesn't do jack crap. Trust me, I've been burned too many times before by this thing. But dodging and parrying attacks is what can give you the upper hand, so be sure to not just wail on people endlessly and take a breather to hold down the dodge button before you get slam jammed. Just stay on your feet, kiddo, get into the fighting groove, and try to pay attention to the enemies. Oh god, I can't see anything! Now, your bros will be fighting by your side for basically all of the game, but for the most part, they are totally automatic and you got little control over them, so they'll be kind of doing their own thing. The only thing you really have control over is their techniques, which are special little moves you can equip and use once you have enough of this green bar. And it's as simple as click the button and then you do the thing. And get ready to hear the same lines over and over and over again.
Oh, hi there, opening.
But techniques are great for turning the tides of battle and can do a buttload of damage if you have the right ones equipped. So be sure to try out the ones you get and then stick to your faves. Now, real talk, I can't cover every little detail about the combat, and most of the other things are covered pretty well in the game, so don't you worry. But let me just say this. Yes, you do get summons as you progress through the game, but 1, you can't control when you use them, 2, they are random, and 3, they look cool as hell. For reals though, most of the time summons just show up as a last resort if you're not doing so hot, and they are totally out of your control. So the best tip I can give is cross your fingers, you get the purple sparky pop-up, hit the button, and then enjoy the show. Okay, let's take a break from the combat and crap, and let's talk about the things that really matter. The Bromobile featuring food and fun, trademark. So your main way of exploring Eos is in the hot, sexy regalia, which you'll have access to at the start of the game. Now, the car is ideal for heading to new places, and you'll be able to use auto and manual control. Auto is kind of the default setting, which lets Ignis take the wheel so you can just sit back, relax, and take in all the sights while you head towards your destination in style. And then there's manual, which is what you think, where you can just take the wheel and do whatever the hecky you want to do. Now, you should know that the car is kind of on a guide track when in manual, and going four-wheeling in the wild is a lot harder than you think. It's kind of like your mom telling you no. But the car just gets you to places on the roads, and you'll be doing a lot of exploring in the wild on foot, or on the Big Bird Chocobos, which you can rent after beating Big Boy here, and you can call and ride your feathered horses all day long if you wanna. Now, you should always rent them out as much as you can, because they are great for getting around faster, and because they're just so darn cute. I mean, look at these little stupid chickens. Oh my god. I want 10. But while dinking around Dios, doing what dudes do, you'll come across either inns or camps all around the world. Now, there is a day and night cycle, and it's best to not travel at night, since that's where things get mega spooky and the big bad boys come out to play. The point is, don't travel at night unless you need to, or unless you really just hate yourself for some reason. I don't know, man, it's your life, you do what you want. But the camps and inns are your safe havens at night, and when you kill stuff and complete missions, you'll gain experience, which makes you stronger, tougher, beefier. But in order for you to gain experience and raise your levels, you need to rest at inns or camps, and you see where I'm going with this, kids. Take a nap once in a while, you ding-dongs! Of course, there is a difference between inns and camps. Staying at inns can multiply your overall experience for the day, which is great for leveling up, But camps is where Ignis gets saucy and makes you din-dins.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
So on top of Ignis blowing out your taste buds, the dishes you pick give you combat buffs for the next day, like increased health and strength, gaining more experience per fight, defense against status ailments, cup noodle mode featuring
The ultimate flavor experience.
just whatever kind of buff you really want, honestly. Now, what you eat can make a huge difference between life and death, so it's important to always be on the lookout for ingredients in missions and parts of the world, since Ignis unlocks new meals as you gain more ingredients.
I've come up with a new recipe.
Now, there are little fun extra things that aren't necessary but are cute as hecky and way more fun than you think. The first being fishing. Since Noctis has the hots for fish, around EOs are fishing spots to catch fish for ingredients and other stuff, and it's just a fun little mini game to pass the time if you want to bring out your inner 75-year-old. It's casual and relaxing, can offer a good challenge every now and then, and holy crap, I've been playing this for 17 hours straight. Listen guys, I don't even like fishing. My butt is officially fused with my chair. I can't move. Please help me. This isn't how I wanted to die. I just wanted to catch a fishy. Help me! Please! So Ignis does the cooking, Noctis does the fishing, and Gladios makes his game rated T for too hot 5 me. And Prompto likes taking pictures. Every time you rest, you can look over the pictures Prompto took that day, and sometimes taking the time to get a pic in the world can give you experience. And, well, besides that, the pictures don't do jack crap. They're just kind of there to collect, but gosh dang it, I just had to bring it up because it's just so darn fun. I mean, look at all these adorable ones I've collected. They're just having a good time, you know, just chilling out and doing their thing, and they got this one and this one. Oh god! Okay, so back to the combat kinda. Listen, Final Fantasy 15 is a JRPG, so your skills are still gonna be based off of points and abilities. There's just a lot of numbers all the time, alright? But as I mentioned before, XP is mega crucial for making yourself stronger and hotter, but you also get AP, which are points you can use to unlock new abilities, techniques, and just stuff, to be blunt. Word on the street is that you should invest in the gaining more AP abilities first, so you can be drawing in points faster to afford the more expensive ones, but as you do what you want. Look around, see what you like, and dump points into whatever suits you. Oh baby! Also, let's talk about stuff. So Noctis can have up to 4 things in his arsenal at all times, and he can switch between weapons on the fly, and again, they switch up your fighting style and damage, and there is a ton of weapons to work with. You get things like short swords, lances, big metal slap paddles, shields, guns, and your feelings.
I get it!
But you can pick and choose whatever the heck you want, but just know that different weapons affect enemies differently, and in some cases, they can affect you. As in like suck the life out of you. Please use the royal arms responsibly. So be sure to switch up what you use for the most impact, and speaking of impact, magic. Okay, so the magic of this game is kind of funky, and it's actually just a ball of hoodoo voodoo crap that you just throw at the enemies for a fresh, sparky surprise. But while exploring EOS, you'll come across these little pools of magic that you can absorb to create magic balls to equip to your person. Now, the magic fusing is a whole convoluted mess of stuff, and there is a lot of recipes and items to make better magics and doodads, and certain magics can do certain things, and blah da da da. It's there, and it can be extremely helpful in both leveling and just barbecuing dudes with ice, so links below for the full magic guide. But just so you know, be careful with magic, because while it is powerful, it can hurt your party as well, so I recommend not setting Prompto on fire and use magic with caution. Oh yeah, and there's also outfits. There aren't a ton right now, but they can affect your stats and stuff, but other than that, yeah, they're more of an aesthetics thing, you know? So if you're not digging the whole My Chemical Romance look, you can change it for the true Final Fashion 15 experience. Okay, so while 90% of the content in this game is really considered quote-unquote optional, and while there is a massive amount of content I can't completely cover, there are some pretty neato extras that you should know about. Now, remember how I said you should really prioritize beating the game before doing everything? Well, yeah, you should beat the game, you dingus, because the best extras only unlock until after you see the credit screen and do that thing Noctis and his friends were supposed to do. What was it again? You know, like, fight the naked dude on foot? Yeah, that one. Okay, yeah, do that thing. And like I said, kiddo, calling Umbra is how you get back to the open world. So don't panic, kiddo. You're not trapped in the final mission. You can still go back and level up. You won't make my mistake. But some of the better things to do is, 1, the extra dungeons. Similar to the ones you come across in the main story, there are a bunch of dungeons you can explore to unlock new items, do some minor story stuff, or if you just want to get totally and completely overwhelmed to the point where you can't even see yourself on screen anymore. Oh, this is so much fun. Now, real talk, each dungeon offers some something new and tend to have catches to them, and the super extra difficult dungeons behind the spooky doors do require keys, so links below for all the dungeon guides and locations. There's also Empire forts. Now, infiltrating forts outside of the story kinda offers the same things as dungeons, but instead, you just go all incognito and stealth this crap up and stab a dude! It's fun, I recommend it. And then there's stuff in Altissia, you know, the most eye-candy place in the whole game, and it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Oh my god, my eyes! But Altissia has the Totemonstro, which is the monster battle arena you can place bets on to win prizes and stuff like that, and, well, it's essentially gambling with a dash of animal cruelty, so hope you're feeling like a big boy. And pro tip, always place bets on the dudes with the highest level, even if the odds say otherwise, because daddy needs a new pair of shoes. Come on, let's get going. I want to... Oh god, they found us. No! And the last and my personal favorite extra is the airship. Now, if you want this thing, which you totally do, let's be real, you gotta beat this mission, and then you just talk to Sid, and your car can frickin' fly with a touch of a button. It's a great way to get around, obviously, and it is used to access super secret areas, and you do have full control of it when in the air, but just so you know, if you do crash it, it is game over. So buckle up, fly safe, and enjoy the sights. Okay, so here are a bunch of tips and things you should know before you get started. The Regalia is a Walmart on wheels, and you can buy items from it for some reason, so do that if you have to. You can run forever if you turn on the stamina bar in the settings, and right before the stamina bar runs out, you stop, then run again to refill it, and then boom, you can run fast forever. Ignis's regroup technique is a must-have and a serious lifesaver. Like, literally, just make sure you guys stay as a group and hold hands so you don't get lost. You'll be collecting a lot of random treasures, but be sure to save some treasures like the Oracle Ascension coins, but pound the rest to get that money. If you're one of those obsessive people, links below so you don't throw away anything important. If you don't want to travel in a car every time, there is a fast travel for past discovered areas. Just be ready for a really, really long loading screen. Always switch out your accessories for new and better ones, and for specific situations, they are more helpful than you know. Some dungeons only open up at night, so just hang out till things get dark and have fun walking straight into a meat grinder. Oh, video games are my passion. Camping isn't the only place to get food. You can get num-nums at restaurants around the world for buffs as well, so be sure to try out every place to see what they got. Take the time to check out the yellow marks on the map for some great items and treasures. If your damage numbers are blue, use a different weapon. You're doing jack crap to hurt the enemy. It's like sneezing on them. Be sure to check out all the stores you come across for some neat key items and to buy new soundtracks to listen to in the Regalia. Gas is a factor. Don't run out of it, it's really awkward. Just fuel up when you can, okay? You want to be a real man and fight all the monsters? Links below for the optional bosses, and get ready to go. Oh my god! You can customize the car and your birds if aesthetics are really important to you. If you see a weapon store, always check them out to see if they have new stuff, and always buy 2 of the same things at the store. One for you to use, and the other for your bro, so y'all could be matching twinsies. Take the time to upgrade the engine blade. Find all the parts, do the thing, it real good. You are invincible when you trigger a technique. Use it to your advantage to avoid big attacks. Your overall health can be reduced if you are hit in a critical state. Use an elixir to raise your max health up again, and with that being said, stock up on as many elixirs and as potions as you can. You're gonna be using a lot. That should do it! Watch your MP meter carefully so you don't go into stasis and turn into a sitting duck. When fighting the salad monster, when the game tells you to regroup, don't leave the area. Go towards the red arrow thingy in the back. There, I just saved you from pulling out your hair. Real talk, guys, this part is bullcrap. It was really annoying. It took me a long time to figure this out. When fishing, only reel in when there isn't a tension bar on screen, or else your line is gonna break.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine or not really fine.
There is a New Game Plus mode if you feel like playing the game again with all of your junk and super beefed up abilities. Like I said before, Square Enix has promised to update 15 in both story and gameplay, so try to stay up to date on future DLC and other content they decide to throw in for the lulz. And last but not least, Chapter 13 can suck my big, buttery, fat d. So while Final Fantasy XV fell short in more than one area and was stuck in what seemed to be an endless development cycle, the game still ended up being an incredibly charming and fun experience because of its focus on friendship featuring the best boys around. And even though 15 isn't the best Final Fantasy, the game did rejuvenate some of the love people had for the series and prove that Square Enix has still got it, and managed to create the foundation for many Final Fantasies to come. And real talk, I'm really excited for Final Fantasy 16 in 2058. It's gonna be great. We may always wonder what Final Fantasy Versus 13 was going to be, but at the end of the day, it's kind of a miracle that the remnants of Versus are still alive in this game. And well, I'm just happy this game even came out, because my eyes have been blessed. But I hope this Basics Beginner's Guide makes your gaming experience a little better, so please rate, comment, and subscribe, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Hey, how's it going? Did you like this video? Well, if you did, why don't you go watch another one, you nerd? Also, why don't you go follow me on Twitter so you can keep up to date on what's gonna happen next? Wanna watch me get the footage I need for these videos? Head on over to my Twitch so you can see me play games and talk to chat where no one is safe. If you want to support me directly and be a major part of making these videos, go pledge to my Patreon and waste your money on YouTube trash. And this episode's Patreon shoutout goes to Jason Avis. Thank you so much for your support, and don't forget you're the real ultimate flavor experience. If you have any tips for this game or any future games, please leave me a comment, tweet me, or send me a message. Later, you big nerds!